So over the last few months, had a number of conversations with different industry leaders within the healthcare space. Three themes actually come up. One is digitalization and AI. The second one is commercial flexibility and margin resilience. And the third theme that has come up quite a fair bit is value differentiation and monetization. So if we start with the first one, digitalization and AI, I think that, over the past many years, companies have relied very much on shadow data systems, IT, not connected, CRM running separately from CPQ to CLM. And with the current age of AI and digitalization and importance of getting data immediately, fast, efficiently, has become a top priority to ensure that the digital infrastructure, the data infrastructure is in place. And that is actually a prerequisite for a lot of the AI stuff that we're seeing. AI tools needs an internal data infrastructure in place. It needs as a priority to be able to build further functionalities in that. And AI has become a hot topic. We see it across the world. And when it comes with digitalization and AI then needs to move away from simple piloting, but now also embedded into the commercial processes. And especially when you look in marketing, sales, pricing, etc., AI can actually help and speed up better decision making in that space. So that's a very important theme. The second part is actually commercial flexibility and margin resilience. I think it goes without saying that, macroeconomic fundamentals are changing and there's shocks to the systems, whether it's tariffs, whether it's the Middle East conflicts, etc. Rising inflation rates has meant that companies need to react quicker, faster, and more efficiently. And that means in terms of how the organization has been built up, decentralized decision-making will become more and more important so we can react fast to those specific things that might happen in various markets. And with that in mind, it's also very much linked to margin resilience, because if there are changes happening, it affects your supply chain, it affects your cost base, which means that how can you better manage margin in a uncertain environment by, for example, being more efficient in passing on price increases, making your supply chain more resilient, etc. The third part, value differentiation and monetization, is also quite an important theme that comes up. It's a crowded market in the healthcare space. You're trying to get attention from healthcare providers, healthcare payers to be able to buy your products and services. So being able to better articulate value both economic and clinical value, is going to be a key driver for success in the future. Specifically, when we look about value differentiation, it's not just the core product, but also the services around it and being able to monetize that. For example, digital software, workflow processes, and specific tools that support the core product is going to be key in terms of monetization. So I would say those are the three major themes we hear throughout the discussions I've had over the past few months. From a long-term competitive perspective, I think getting the data infrastructure right is key because that's the foundation of everything. Speed and efficiency and getting the right information at the right time is critical for decision making. So a lot of the companies, they have or are embarking on, transformation programs to get the data infrastructure right. I think that's key. And also because, as I mentioned before, as a basis for AI. AI can only work on the right infrastructure within the system. So I think that's one of the key things. The other part, I think, is this commercial flexibility, just making sure that decisions can be made faster and quicker. We see a trend towards what I call vertical decentralization. So business units having more power to make decisions right where the things are happening within the markets. So that is going to be important. At the same time, margin resilience, we know that costs are going up. So how do you ensure the same profitability? And that is whether passing through price increases, whether being able to differentiate your products better versus competitors, and also monetizing the services that you have, especially the digital ones, to ensure that you have an additional revenue stream than just the core product. So those are the main steps that I would expect companies to take. AI has created a buzz on what uses, and beside the basic uses, I think everybody's using ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, etc., to use it as a buddy to get information through. But to really embed into the commercial process is going to be key, and that means moving from piloting phase to real integration and adoption. That requires changes in processes and behavior where AI can come in, and that requires that you've kind of built up a streamlined commercial process where you can put in AI to take over certain tasks. That has not happened yet. We see specific cases and pilot cases going on, but that is a process where they need to go through. So it has to go beyond what we all use AI to really integrating into the commercial process, making the right decisions. There are themes such as, using AI to help with pricing, AI to help with segmentation and targeting, AI to help coach salespeople to say what are the narratives and stories they need to do. So things like that is going to be key. One is uncertainty, and that requires, companies to be able to navigate the unknown that might come and affect their business. The second is efficiency. I think, given the cost pressure companies are facing, it's important that companies look at the internal processes and see how they can do things quicker, faster, and better to be able to, ensure that their margin doesn't come under pressure. And third is AI. AI is not everyone's lips, and how do we ensure that companies are able to use the AI technologies, the systems, and incorporate that into the commercial process and to reap the benefits. So those would be my three key topics.